Good morning, it's Dan McDonald. Actually, just hello. It's good morning for me. I'm in Bend, Oregon. It's a place I've always wanted to visit, and I'm glad that I did. I went to the farmer's market last night. I walked over at the park. It was really beautiful town, and so I'm glad I came here to visit. I went to the farmer's market and bought a bunch of stuff for lemon ginger blast. I made about 2 gallons last night. It took me about 2 hours. So now I'm filled up with jars of juice. People ask me all the time, how long can I keep the juice? Well, the fact is that it's better when you juice it and drink it. It's way better that way. But for me, the way I travel now, I'm up to like maybe even holding on to a jar of juice for 3 days. So remember that the citrus juices, like lemon especially, help to really keep the juice preserved for long periods of time. Today's video is about the 21-day Step 1 Detox program. Of course, I've already started like 5 days ago, so I feel way better already. In the detox program, what it was I decided for myself that I needed to take out salt and fat and spices and just go with the simple fruits and the green juices, which is what I've been doing. I did have a couple of salads. But even those were a bit heavy. It's very happening naturally for me, real spontaneously. It's coming from deep within, and so I'm just writing. It's kind of nice to have it happening naturally because I'm not so worried about like getting thin. Because for a long time I've been on this path, but when I started doing YouTube videos, I'd always start getting skinny. And then I would get, the meatheads would come here and be like, "You're too skinny, you need to eat some meat, dude." And that would mess me up because I was teased for being skinny. But now I'm strong enough to realize that getting skinny is part of the long-term illumination through the path of health. So I'm definitely way more confident now, and it's just like, I'm used to people saying things. A lot of people just don't understand. So few people have ever understood this. The true deep tissue detox. Very few people ever achieve a true complete detox and healing. You can call me, what are those, the orthorexic or whatever, but it's not true. I mean, look at me in my eyes. Do I look stupid? Do I look like I'm confused about what I'm doing? I mean, I have read every single book you can imagine. Here's one written 100 years ago. I've written books about health that are from 2,000 years old up until the most modern, recent detox books. I mean, and some people know what they're talking about and some people don't. Henry Lindler here, 100 years ago, this dude knew what he was talking about. He says the same things. He was way ahead of his time. That's a fantastic book. I'm reading it again to be reminded. So educate yourself, and then once you've educated yourself, you won't be tripping, and you'll get it. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to do this because it's the call of my heart. And it's total deep tissue detox. I did a lot of damage to my brain back in the day, and I was a bodybuilder for a long time, and I also broke my shoulder, which never quite healed right. So I know that the deep tissue detox will pull the acids and inflammation out of there. If I'm fortuitous, you know what I mean? If there's the grace, then everything will go well and as planned. But I'll keep going until I get it. I also broke my knee when I was a young man, and that never quite healed right because I was on the green beans, the government cheese, and the Cocoa Puffs. And so with those foods, you're never going to have any kind of real tissue regeneration. So the inflammation got buried deep within my knee, and on the last water fast my knee began to heal. Well, I broke the water fast right in the middle of a healing crisis, which is the dumbest thing you could do, and it's been halfway healed ever since. So I'm going to finish up the knee here so that I can get back into a lotus position and meditate, and I'm going to get the shoulder cleaned up, and I'm going to get this cholesterol off the base of my in the base of my brain, which is keeping my pituitary gland from functioning optimally. And I don't know how long this is going to take. I set a 90-day program, so 21 days on the well, let me just explain the first phase because I always go off on tangents. Anyways, get excited about your health. You're not as crazy as they think you are. They're going to want to join you in about 5 or 10 or 15 years when the doctor tells them they're about to have a heart attack or they're dying of cancer. We want to be way ahead of that game and more sensitive. We want to shoot for our potential now before the doctor says you're dying. You know what I mean? Because hardly anybody ever really wakes up to the health until it's like, oh, you're dying of a disease. And then you try to start doing a few things. You're like, I won't give up my tuna fish. I won't give up my shortbread. I won't give up my alcohol, but I'll do your program. And so I'll drink 1 green juice per day. And they're never going to get well, you know, because if you don't give up that other stuff, that's leaving a lot of residues and toxifying your body, then it's going to be really tough. So don't wait till you're sick before you start to practice the art of wellness, which is an art, it's a science, and it is a most beautiful pathway. There's 10 million paths to the truth, and we're just happen to be on this one together, and this is my way inward. I broke the cycle of drug addiction. I have broken the cycle of physical abuse, and now I'd like to break the cycle of food addiction. And these are all long-standing. If you look back at my family line, no offense to my family members, but if you look back on my family line, you'll see these habits go down the line. And I said when I was 8 years old, I'm going to break these cycles. I remember saying that. I'm going to break all these cycles. And so now food is the last cycle to break. I can just look at the people who, you know, brought me into this planet, and I know that what kind of work I've got cut out for me. So I'm doing very well the last 5 days. Let me just get into it and tell you what it is about the next 21 days starting tomorrow on the 7th. Okay, all the fruit that you want, get the best fruit you can. Buy the best fruit so you're satisfied. If you get cheesy, chuntsy, unripe fruit, you're going to be unsatisfied and you're going to go eat a candy bar. So get the best fruit you can and try not to spare any expense. Number 2, all the green juices that you care for. Slam those green juices. You get hungry, you start jonesing, just make a green juice first, and trust me, you'll be like, oh, I'm set. That's how it works for me. I get all these cravings. You know, even after 11 years, I get all these cravings. I knock back a jar of juice, solid for another 2, 3, 4 hours. Okay, now, that's going to be my trip, mostly fruits and green juices. But for everyone else who's just getting started, make big salads, simple. And the lighter they are, the better they'll be. The lighter or just with herbs, like if you start putting beets and carrots and things like that that are a little bit heavier, it'll slow down the detox process, which you may want to do. You want to finesse this thing so that it works for you. Because a lot of you haven't been doing it as long as I have, and it's going to be a little bit more intensity, you know. And so don't ever be hard on yourself. I'll get into that. That'll be how I wrap up the video. And then after that, all the smoothies you want. So basically what we're doing, my friends, is a no fat, no salt, no spice. The habaneros are permissible in the lemon ginger blast, because it just makes a lemon ginger blast really good. But you can take those out if you want. Other than that, fruits, green juices, salads, and smoothies. No fat. What's wrong with fat? Nothing is wrong with fat, but fat slows down the moving of the lymphatic system. And what we're trying to do is get the lymphatic system moving. We want to get the lymphatic system moving, and we want to get the kidneys flushing. I've got 10 million juice recipes coming up because I'm going to have a house with a sink and a refrigerator. I'll have all my juicers set up, my Vitamix, and I'll bring you recipes. I know it's been too long, but it's far too complicated for me to make videos with juicing and stuff because of the way I live in the back of my truck. Now, I pulled out the juicer and took 2 hours last night to make 2 gallons of juice in my little Omega. And I just can't figure out how to make a video about that. You know, 2 hours long. You want to watch a 2-hour YouTube video? So anyways, the last thing I want you to say is don't be too hard on yourself. If you fall off, you take 1/10,000th of a second and you get right back on, and you don't judge yourself, criticize yourself, bemoan yourself, or anything. What you want to do is learn. This is a process of self-discovery. This is a process of learning about yourself, learning about your weaknesses, learning about your strengths. It's not about getting somewhere or, getting mad at yourself that you're not good enough. We just set out on the journey, and we don't try, we just do this. We do this thing. And so if there's any, you know what you need to do. You know what level you want to take this thing. We're all going to be at different levels. We're all going to be supporting each other. I won't be answering any questions and stuff like that. Please support one another via YouTube and Facebook. Change email addresses and help one another. Find someone else who wants to lose weight. Somebody else might want to, have issues with other things like the C word, or somebody else might have like prostate issues. We're going to get into all that as I make special juice tonics for the different conditions. So it's going to be a lot of fun for me, but I'm going to be chilling, resting up, and saving my energy for my own intention, which is happening very naturally, and I'm very thankful that I have been put upon this path, and that I have a chance to detoxify and cleanse after all these years, and that I'm able to fit all this in with the YouTubes and everything else, and continue on with my life while also being able to do some detox as well. So thank you very much for your time and attention. No fat, no spice, no salt, raw living food diet, as simple as you can. So eat a lot of fresh foods, as much as you need to. Eat as much fruit as you want, as much salads, as much smoothies, as much green juice as you want, and don't sweat the small stuff. And then get rest when you need it, and get some activity when you need it. Thank you very much, my friends. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.